Hi, hello, welcome to another video here on my channel. Today I'm hoping is going to be a more exciting vlog. I don't know if it's going to be a week long or just over the course of a couple days, but I do have a few things planned. First off, if you cannot tell, I look a little nice. I'm in a nice dress. I actually bought this dress for my husband and my 5-year anniversary coming up June 15th. That's kind of crazy, not gonna lie. It's already been 5 whole years. Also that day, his cousin is getting married. So we get to celebrate 2 different things, a wedding and then our anniversary. I bought this. I wanted to also wear my bracelet for when we got married and also my earrings. Sorry about any noise. My son is actually playing right here. Like always, he's always in my videos, I feel like. Today, what I actually have planned is I'm going to be taking a few self-portraits. Nothing crazy. Don't worry, it's not gonna be very dramatic. They're just going to be simple photos. I have on this dress, like I already mentioned, and then I also have one other outfit planned. It's just going to be more so a shirt and jeans, nothing too crazy. Also with my hair, I heatless wrapped it last night, so we got a little bit of a mess going on, to be honest. And then I have to go back and straighten my hair. I didn't want to apply heat twice to my hair, even though in a few days, the reason I'm actually taking these photos, in a few days, I'm getting ready to chop all of my hair off. I am so excited about that. I feel like it's been so long. Technically, I've been getting haircuts a lot and I've been keeping it a relative length. I would chop off like 4 inches, let it grow out, and then chop it again. Over the past 5 or so years, my hair has been slowly growing out. Even though I've been chopping off a lot of it, my hair pretty much grows very fast. It can grow from my shoulder blades all the way down to my waist in about a couple months, which gets very annoying sometimes. And I'm to the point again where I am so tired of my long hair. So I did a nice dress, nice outfit, so I could hopefully get some nice photos. And then since I curled my hair, because I don't like my hair straight majority of the time because it gets very flat, I decided my next outfit, I'll straighten it and then you can see the true length of it because it's gotten a little bit long. That's my plan for today. Let's go ahead and hop into the self-portraits. Can you see me? How much of me can you see? There. Thinking about taking a few photos like this. Just a simple field, nothing too crazy. A little bit in the shade since I'm doing this around 12 p.m. I switched from my 18 to 135 to my 50 mil currently, but one thing I did not notice until I'm looking at some of these photos, I have my farmer's tan. I never got rid of it. I was even in the pool constantly trying to get rid of my tan, or at least kind of fade it a little bit more. And this morning when I woke up, it looked like it was gone. That's cool. I'm gonna try something different. Normally I take my photos and don't record. I'm gonna try a few videos. Whee! Let's see how dumb that looked. I think my favorite thing about that video I just did is I'm not in the middle of the path. Let's maybe try a few more. I have a problem. For whatever reason, I cannot get any photos to turn out really good right now. And I think also it doesn't help that I'm sweating and my hair is starting to get worse because of the humidity and also just the wind. So I'm going to see if my husband can come out and take a few photos for me. Just a couple. Also, I have another problem I just realized watching that video clip. I have dry skin on my nose. If you have seen dry skin at all on my nose, I'm so sorry. It's because I was sick not too long ago and I had to blow my nose every like hour on the hour. And I guess I still don't have everything back to normal with that. So ignore that, please. I am so sorry. That's embarrassing. Yay! I have my hair straightened. It's a little bit longer. We're gonna go on the driveway. This is the driveway. Isn't it pretty? It is. We're gonna sit on the driveway and I'm actually going to try and get some photos of me kind of walking away. Not gonna do videos. I had my husband take a few photos. That turned out good. Let's see if we can get some better photos. I have an idea. This is gonna be back to like, what is it, 2015 senior photos maybe? That's my idea. Let's execute it. Honestly, this thing tracks pretty good. BB, come here. This is the kitty cat BB. Look, BB. I think I'm good on taking self-portraits. It's been one of those days. Also, this whole time, you've probably been hearing the little koi pond right here. Sorry about that if that's loud. I'm up at my mom's. We got here last night. I didn't record us actually leaving. I'm up in her sewing room and I'm getting ready to go get my hair cut. I'll give you a little hint. I'm doing a massive chop and potentially highlights just to kind of refresh, try and make me feel better about myself. Kind of annoying to deal with, very heavy, getting rid of a lot of it. She's pretty long. I'm so excited. Let's go get my hair cut. Are you guys ready for my haircut? I ended up cutting off a lot of my hair and the salon did take it to donate it, which is great. I did get some highlights put in. They're more warm tone natural highlights, full head like normal. I don't really dye my hair very often, nothing hardly, but this I just needed a refresh. I'm very happy with this. Also, it is so short. I can do a half up, half down, and almost a whole pony. So yeah, this is my new hair. It won't always be styled like this though. I know we have a few things today that I want to do. First off, I need to go to the store, get some Slim Fast, some water, a couple things for like my hair that I definitely want to try and keep up with since I am not going to continuously cut it as much, but I will be cutting it a lot and trying to keep it a little bit more short. So I'd like to get some things like maybe argan oil, maybe a couple hair masks, easy things like that. Try not to put heat on my hair at all too, just on special occasions. And then I would also like to go thrifting to maybe find a couple outfits or at least some clothes that I'm more comfortable in. We definitely have to go to Half Price Books. I want to sell some books and then turn around and buy some new ones. So that one right there is very exciting. I'm not sure because I already got my haircut done. So that's one thing checked off for today. And also Josh, he went down to Florida with his uncle to pick up a car and they are actually headed back from Florida. So that is absolutely great. Our first stop was at an outlet store for Half Price Books. I didn't film too much in here, but I did film a few books that I liked or that caught my eye. Kind of like this book called The Iron King. I've seen this before on Ian's channel, and I also spotted a copy of Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosnay. I read this a couple years ago and it was a 5-star read for me. And here's how the outlet was set up. It was very similar to a regular Half Price Books, but it had really great discounted prices. I mainly only seen books that I was familiar with or that I already read. They did, however, have a few displays with unique books on them, and they also had this super discounted spot in the middle when you first walked into the whole entire store. We ended up going down to Bloomington, Indiana. We found that they had a Half Price Book outlet. Never heard of Half Price Books having an outlet store. I'm not gonna say that they didn't have amazing deals on books, but it was kind of like a thrift store. You're not guaranteed a lot of books. So we ended up not dropping off any of the books that I had to get rid of and hopefully get some money on because they did not accept any at the outlet store. And then also we turned around after looking through some of the books and headed up to an actual Half Price Books. We went up to Greenwood, Indiana, and I got 4 different books and I did spend a little bit of money. I'm not gonna lie, I had only $7 or $8. I think it was $8 whole. So basically one of these books was almost free. That's how much they gave me for all the books that I got rid of. The first book I picked up was The Midnight Library. I've seen this all over Book Talk BookTube. I feel like a lot of these, actually all of these are probably all over Book Talk BookTube. But I ended up picking up The Midnight Library because I've heard so many good things about it. This one was $8.99. Half Price Books has gotten a little bit more expensive than about 5-6 years ago when I last went. Next, I got The Silent Woods. I first seen this book because of, I do believe Ashlyn and Ian were the first two. And after seeing this, I wanted this book so bad, and I found it for $8.99 as well, and I picked it up because as soon as I seen it I was like, you're coming on with me pretty much. Next, for only $3.49, I have House of Salt and Sorrows. When I seen this, it was one of those that I kind of weighed in my mind if I really wanted it or not, and I did have this on my wish list for books on Amazon. I just haven't bought it, but now I guess I need to switch everything to paperback because I think I had it on there as a hardback. And I seen this, there's only like 2 books, maybe 3 in the whole series, and they're not very long, so for $3-4 I pretty much just had to pick it up. And lastly, I picked up Book Lovers by Emily Henry for $8.49. I both have and also have read People We Meet on Vacation and also Beach Read, and I was looking for a paperback of Book Lovers, a paperback for Happy Place, and eventually also a paperback for Funny Story. I ended up seeing this one. This was the only copy, and this was the first book I actually found and picked up. These are the 4 books I got. I'm very excited to start reading these because I'm currently reading Nicholas Sparks' The Wish, and I only have about 20 pages left draft of that book, so I might pick one of these to read next. I'm also filming currently a mood read with me in different locations video. I'm not going to actually finish the book or like try and record myself reading and finishing The Wish. It will be in that video, and also potentially my next one will definitely be in that video. That's all we've done today since getting my haircut, except for also after Half Price Books. We hit up a Walmart, we got some groceries, and now we're home after getting some Wendy's, and now we're gonna go eat. Afterwards, I think I'm just going to read, and I know tomorrow we'll probably go to a Goodwill so I can try and get some clothes. But otherwise, that's so far everything we've done today, and that's my future plans as well. Hi, we're back home. I'm just going to go over a couple things that we ended up getting. First off, I got my son a pair of jeans, nothing crazy. Next, we found a Hot Wheels car that we're thinking about giving to my husband, letting James, since he kind of picked it up, give it to my husband. Or I do believe he picked it up, maybe not, but this is Kyle Petty. The only thing I ended up getting for me is Lucy Foley's The Paris Apartment. I ended up reading the guest list, and I also had this on my Amazon wish list, but now I just took it off. So that's exciting. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and read some of Book Lovers. My husband just recently got home and actually ended up trying to get some sleep in, so he has been sleeping, and I think I'm gonna wait on him to call me, and while I wait, I think I'm just gonna read. Side note, I also did not get to try on any clothes or buy any because both of the Goodwills we went to had 0 changing rooms. That's so down. Thing about Book Lovers that I just can't get over. The main character, Nora, sits down with Charlie at like a meeting, and for whatever reason, I picture Charlie at like 40 years old or 50 years old, and I guess they're technically supposed to be around the same age, and also he's going to be the other main character of this book. In my mind, I can't stop picturing him as much older. A few days later, Josh and I took James up to the Newport Aquarium. James has never been here specifically, even though Josh and I have been here before as kids. It's definitely one of my favorite aquariums to visit, mainly because of the underwater tunnels that everybody loves.
Oh, a bug shark over there. Those bug sharks.
James really liked the fish, and it was a fun little trip before we took an actual vacation. At first, I wasn't going to record at all, and then I decided I was going to make a separate video for the aquarium, but then last minute I decided that here in this vlog was probably a better place for all the clips that I took. I wanted a few peaceful clips without sound of just fish swimming, maybe the eels, maybe also some snakes, some gators, anything they pretty much had. The day we went, it was super crowded, kind of like always, to be honest anymore, and we pretty much just did a quick walkthrough. We did get to see some new animals or fish that weren't there the last time when Josh and I were there, and also we noticed that in one of the underwater tunnels, they had a mermaid for kids to take photos with. That was pretty cool. Overall, some of my favorite clips from this day, besides of my husband and son, were definitely the more close-up shots of the plant life, or even the fish, especially the jellyfish and octopus exhibit. The very next day, we decided to take a trip down to Pigeon Forge for our family vacation. This is our second family vacation together after having James, and just in general. Josh had a few hotel points saved up from his time on the Thunderbirds, so we were trying to use some of those before they just kind of randomly disappeared. On the way down, I was trying to both catch up and finish Book Lovers. In between jamming out with Josh and reading, I think I did a pretty good job at getting a few pages in. And of course, also, since it's a road trip, we had to stop for some snacks and some gas, and I had to get my go-to items, a nice energy drink and a cosmic brownie. I absolutely love A-Shocks the most, and I was so excited when we went here because I hadn't seen one in a store since Vegas, so of course I had to grab one. Also, Josh appears to be over me anytime he knows that I'm filming, but don't honestly let that fool you with how he really is in real life. If you know, you know. And then we finally hit our hotel. It wasn't that long of a drive down here from our home, maybe 4 hours or so total. And our hotel was a newer one and a really nice one for also being so standard, with 2 queens and a decent sized bathroom. The view from our window was probably the best, especially at night when the Ferris wheel was all lit up. We made it to the hotel. We're getting ready to go to the Titanic Museum. When we got down to the Titanic Museum, I seen they had no video signs everywhere, and I'm honestly kind of glad for that because I was more in the moment. When you first get there, they give you a boarding pass, and with the boarding pass, you get a name of a real passenger and their class, and at the end of the museum, you can see if the actual person survived Titanic or not. James and I had a first class and a second class person who did survive. Josh, on the other hand, had a third class man who ended up not surviving. An update: last night we actually ended up back at the hotel, and I had to film on my phone because I didn't bring my camera today, but we are going to Hollywood Star Cars maybe. The Hollywood Star Cars Museum was really cool to see, but honestly overwhelmingly full of a lot of vehicles from the Fast and Furious franchise. Don't get me wrong, I love a few of the Fast and Furious movies. Before, that is, they stopped pretty much being about cars, but there are other Hollywood cars out there that could have been maybe donated. I love seeing one of the mini General Lees used in the Dukes of Hazzard movies. And of course, I love seeing my all-time favorite movie and one of my favorite cars, Christine by Stephen King. I also joke that my truck is a version of Christine, but the bond between me and her is honestly very similar to kind of how Arnie and Christine was in the movie before you kind of know the backstory a little bit more. I also got to see some more from my more liked movies or show. Ghost Rider's motorcycle, the Beverly Hillbillies trucks, of course the Trans Am from the Smokey and the Bandit. How could we not? Another favorite of mine, to be honest. There was also the Ford Galaxy from the Andy Griffith Show that Don Knotts actually signed the glove box of. The 82 Jeep that had Dorothy in the back from the original, and also the only good Twisters movie there is, had a really cool storm effects, lightning effects, thunder, you name it. They had that going on with a motion detector, and I thought it was really cool. Honestly, there were just so many good cars here. And then we got to another top movie of mine. This is probably number 2 on my list, right below Christine. Pretty much tied with Christine. It is, of course, Ford versus Ferrari. Between the 63 Ford Country Squire and, of course, the GT40, especially with the rock chips all over the hood, I was honestly so happy, so excited to see this whole setup. One of the best and also the saddest movies, especially if you love cars. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it somehow. Go buy the movie. You won't regret it. I want to do an update because I never updated. First off, let's start with book lovers because I think I was pretty much trying to record me actually reading this. In the vehicle, I think I started on chapter 19, page 210 to 11, I do believe. And I actually ended up on page 252 last night. I did read a few last night in bed and here at the hotel, but other than that, most of that was in the car. So I'm about 100 pages shy of finishing this book. Excellent. I feel so proud of that. Next, yesterday, after we hit the hotel, we basically just dropped everything and went straight to the Titanic Museum. I only could take a few photos there. There was no videos allowed, which was totally fine. It was a great experience. And then we also tried to go to the Old Mill for dinner last night. It was around like 7:30. It was an hour and a half wait, so we did not end up going and eating there. We went to Quaker Steak and Lube. Great place to eat. Love the atmosphere. Also, the wings are pretty decent. And then after that, we went to a place called Laserport and ended up trying to go mini golfing. We actually went mini golfing and we played a few arcade games. And today, because we have a few passes still left that we all bought for all 3 of us, we will be going go-karting with our son. We're going to be taking him there. This morning we woke up real early, probably around 7 or so, and hit the Old Mill for breakfast around 8:15 give or take. Got some great breakfast there, and then we headed down to Gatlinburg to actually look at the Hollywood Star Cars Museum, where you get to see all the cars that I actually filmed on my phone that you guys got to see. And pretty much today all we have planned is go-karting and maybe just walk around. We're just kind of hitting it by ear. I'm not going to be taking my camera though because I don't want to take it in a go-kart and I don't want to leave it somewhere where somebody can take it. So I will just be leaving it here. So most of the items will be on my phone. So overall, it's been a fun little trip. Also, look at what I ended up getting, or what Josh let me get at the museum for the cars. It's Christine! At the Nascar Speedway, I didn't add any clips I filmed of our son, but they had a few rides that he was tall enough to ride, and technically he could have driven his own go-kart. He was a little too short for that still, and some of the rides where his height were also shut down, which was kind of sad, but he did still have a good time. Before we went over to the Smoky Mountains section that you had to pay more for, so Josh could drive the faster go-karts there. I heard someone say when we were over there that apparently they went 35 miles an hour. I'm not sure how true that is. Honestly, they had to wear helmets, so it was faster than the other ones in the other side of the park. Josh had a really fun time and won the first race. He did come in second, and the second time he went around, he got placed in the slowest cart and still ended up catching up and finishing second, which was pretty cool. And after we left from the Speedway, we were so exhausted, but we wanted to kind of check out the sky deck before we left our hotel. They had this for the guests, which was really neat to see. There ended up being fireworks going off later on. We didn't stay too long because we honestly wanted some supper. Man, it has been a day today, a very long, exciting, fun-filled day. We are finally in our hotel. We just went up to check out the roof, basically the rooftop, free access little lounge up on the top of the roof. It's on the 6th floor, which is really kind of nice. But pretty much we had a fun-filled day that was basically go-karts, amusement parks. We spent a lot of money. We also won James a lot of toys, a lot of prizes. I think he had like 62 or 6,400 tickets technically that Josh and I won him, and also he kind of won some of them himself. But we first went to this first place, which was Laserport, which ended up being one of those places that we wish we kind of would have not have done, and we would have just spent all day. Actually, there's this Nascar Speedway park that we went to, and that one was so much better. We wish we would have done that from the start because it had mini golf, it had mini bowling, it had the actual amusement park carnival type rides. Granted, James was not tall enough to do a lot of them. It had the go-karts, it had everything that we were pretty much looking for, and it was all within one. So we paid for two separate different places, and then we mainly only used the Nascar one. I mean, we did get to go on the go-karts a few times, but after the first time, James did not enjoy going on the go-karts. It was kind of nice that he was able to at least go a couple times. The first time he went down, there was this massive hill. It's not really that big, but when you're actually doing speeds on the go-kart, it was a pretty big drop, and he did not like that, and therefore the next time he kept crying and he said he did not like it. And then we got him to go on it one more time, and Josh ended up going slow with him because he only wanted his daddy to drive him on the 2-1. And the first time I went around, I was having so much fun on the single go-kart. The second time I got the really slow one that I couldn't even pass anybody. I couldn't even hardly get up the hills with it. It was dying. It was on its last legs. So it was a very fun and sometimes frustrating with that aspect, but we had a lot of fun today. We've been out and about. We had great food this morning, but we went out to the Old Mill this morning and we ended up going to, I believe it's called Hunt's Catfish for lunch. It's a catfish place that's relatively close, and that was amazing food. Southern hospitality is pretty great. So, and then we went out to the amusement parks to kind of finish off our day. And as of right now, it is 10 o'clock. Josh is actually heating up some of our leftovers so we can eat, and tomorrow we will probably check out. So I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see y'all in another video here on my channel, and God bless.